Happy Super Tuesday. Sorry, you guys. I know I haven't been posting in a while, but, well, life gets busy. Life gets busy, and those winter blues are a real struggle. I don't know about you guys, but I get down and depressed and in funks when my weather sucks. And miraculously, when the weather gets better, I'm out there and I'm happy and I'm enjoying life again, and it just breathes a new light into me. I had all the windows open in the house yesterday. It was just glorious. It's Super Tuesday. Super Tuesday. All right. Here's the thing. I want to discuss a few things with you guys. Tomorrow is going to be absolutely lit. Hello, Chris. Hello. Hello. Couple of things I wanted to discuss with some people here is the crashing of social media this morning. Now, I couldn't get on my Instagram post because I got some email from my local school district and I wanted to check it out because best believe there's going to be some major heat happening here next Tuesday. Just stay tuned, you guys, because it's going to be absolutely lit. It's going to be insane. It's going to be crazy, and I'm going to bring you along for the ride. Yeah, buddy. Whoo! I got bail money set aside. Look at how cute my cat's paw is. Isn't that cute? All right, so here, let me bring you up on the skinny. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube simultaneously were down this morning, and I can only suspect that this is an allegation. This is a sneaking suspicion. It is not confirmed. So YouTube, don't ding me on this. Not that it matters anyways. I am demonetized. So it's not going to stop me from bringing you guys the truth. The truth is I put some fake tanner on and look at my hands. Anyways, simultaneously down. Facebook, Instagram, owned by Meta. Also YouTube, owned by Google. Meta, also YouTube, Google. Who are they affiliated with? Does anybody want to take a wild guess? You know, they meet in the Swiss Alps a few times a year. Yeah, their leader is an ultra-uber fascist, like literal descendant of a real live Nazi. Oh, yeah, Klaus Schwab. Yeah, the World Economic Forum. They are tied in with the WEF, and the last thing they want is to have somebody win a primary election who is anti-fascism. Anti-fascism, anti-pushing leftist woke propaganda in our schools, pornography in our schools, transgenderisms. Why not just make transgenderism a social contagion so we can sterilize and mutilate an entire generation? Whoever thought of that idea fucking sucks. Sorry, not sorry. So they all go down this morning because, of course, it's Super Tuesday. The last thing they want you to do is tell people or post how you went out and voted for Donald Trump. They don't want to see it. They don't want to see it. They're like, no, so we're going to crash the whole systems. I mean, I just think that's what happened. I can't say for sure, but just the puzzle pieces aren't fitting together. The math isn't mathing. Catch my drift? All right. Something else I wanted to discuss with you guys tomorrow at 11. Do you guys know who James Lindsay is? Now, there's an awesome video. It's New Disclosures is his YouTube channel. New Disclosures is an amazing channel. And he went to speak at the Oxford Union. And he addressed wokeness. Now, James Lindsay is famously anti-woke. He's got podcasts and Spotify and da-da-da-da-da. I grabbed up all of his links, so I'll be sharing that tomorrow. He'll join me live here on X and Rumble at 11 a.m. Eastern. I can't wait to talk to James. They literally put out a new book called The Queering of the American Child. It in detail describes how I think it's the National Association for School Boards or something. They describe how woke culture and transgenderisms and sexuality and this pornographic imagery, how it made its way into our schools and how the social contagion is doing a horrible number on society. Because the Great Reset by Klaus Schwab, of course, he wants to whittle the population down. And Bill Gates and all of these people, you know, it's really messed up what's happening. And what sucks is it used to be done in the dark, but now everybody who was once told, oh, put just your tinfoil hat. that's all true. Now they're just out loud and proud about it. So they wanted to whittle down the population, and what better than to push a bunch of gay, trans, bisexual, non-binary, woke nonsense into our schools. Now 60% of high school students are coming out as gay, trans, bi. I'm sorry. This is an agenda. This is 100% an agenda. So James will be joining me tomorrow. It's just absolutely, I can't wait for this. I was going to tell you guys about a week ago. I've been so busy. It's been absolutely crazy for me. So I haven't had the time to do this. You voted Trump? All right. Amazing. Did you guys go out and vote? Man, I hope you guys did, man. I really do. Look, there's all sorts of salty tears flowing through Twitter or X today. Like, we have Keith Olbermann admitting that he drinks pee. Like, lefties have gone Looney Tunes, man. They're losing it. The Supreme Court in Colorado unanimously decided that Trump stays on the ballot in Colorado. They're losing their ever-loving minds. We need to abolish the Supreme Court. Oh, it's like, wow. So when they rule in your favor, you're fine with them and you're cheering their praises. Yay, yay, Supreme Court, woo. But the very second they unanimously decide that, hey, you fascists ain't gonna tell us tell people, we the people, who we can or cannot vote for. That's legit fascism. Nope. They're saying that the Supreme Court must go. We have to whittle it down. Term limits. But you love Nancy Pelosi. You love Chuck Schumer. You love all these lefties over there that have been in Congress, in the Senate, in the House for 90 freaking years. Oh, no term limits there, eh? Man, I can't stand it. So they're losing their ever-loving minds because Colorado, the Supreme Court was like, fuck y'all. I'm going to make sure y'all can vote for Trump. And I think like this, man, you don't want to vote for Trump? Fine. But don't tell other people that they can't. That's my problem today. I think this is what the world needs. It needs to go back. Go back to common sense days where you can have your own political beliefs. You're allowed to have your sexuality behind closed doors and keeping that private and not being like, oh, let me fly this rainbow flag everywhere and let kids come to pride events, because pride is basically celebrating one's sexuality. Kids and sexuality don't mix. Oil, water, don't mix. Pride, kids, don't mix. Sexuality, children, no, don't mix. So lefties are losing it right now because, of course, it's Super Tuesday and people are showing up. Now, they are loving the fact, Democrats, mind you, are loving the fact that Nikki Haley won in D.C. Woo! Let's celebrate that one win in the most Democrat area in the entire country, where 99% of them vote Democrat. And I'm over here like, you're celebrating the one win? The one win. Well, not Michigan, where he got 100% of the votes. What about he won in her home state? Ooh, no? Nothing? Oh, shit. You're going to sing the praises that Nikki Haley won in D.C. Good. Now we know. She's a fucking Democrat. We knew this. But now we know. And we have a lot of leftoids like Mark Cuban voting for her and being like, I voted for Nikki Haley. Of course you did. Of course you did, Mark Cuban, because why? Why would you? She's not a Democrat and you're a Democratic supporter. Oh, because she's a Democrat. Never Nikki, because her name is not Nikki, it's Nimrata, and never a Republican. Oh, Rhino. A lot of these people, though, you guys, please, for the love of God, do your research on who you're voting for, okay? I shared a link on my Twitter yesterday. It is the judicial vote. You can click on it. You can click your state to see when your primary is and who is on your ballot. This is for the primaries, right? local courts like common pleas court. That is who decides if violent felons go to prison or not. Okay? They are the ones that keep our streets safe. So you need to do your due diligence, because in areas like New York, we have Democrats openly admitting, I am running and registered as a Republican because I'm a fucking Democrat, and I'm going to weasel my way in there to get a Democratic majority. They fucking cheat. They cheat so bad, and I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of, look, you guys, I never used to be as political as I am today. But in this time, you have to. You have to be political, because it is the fucking savior of our country. It is the saving grace that we need. This election, November 5th, is by far the most important election of our lifetime, and I mean that wholeheartedly. We have snakes. The swamp is deeper, and Miss Queen of the Swamp, go ahead and celebrate your win in DC. That just proves to everybody that you're paid to be there to fight against Trump. I've never seen so many Democrat or Republican, the voters, or the, I'm sorry, not the voters. Sorry, I keep getting notifications. God bless America, these notifications. I've never seen so many campaign financiers, meaning the people that bankroll these politicians' campaigns. I've never seen so many donors pull their money out like I have with Nikki Haley, and she proceeds to go on. It's like taking a defibrillator to somebody who doesn't have rhythm in their heart. They're flatlined. And guess what? If somebody doesn't have any rhythm in their heart and you shock them, you're not going to get them back. It's just, you're flatlined, you're dead, you're gone, dead in the water, poof, you're not coming back. So it's like she has a defibrillator on this campaign, and no matter how much money she's wasting, I'm talking millions upon millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, just pissing it in the wind. And she doesn't care about nobody but her damn self. Nobody but getting in there, which really sucks, because Nikki Haley, you are where you are today because of Donald Trump. You snake in the grass. I don't see how. Like, I know DeSantis is back in Florida governing and doing great things, actually. But damn, dude, biting the hand that feeds you, it's not a good look. Loyalty is everything, to me anyways. Honesty, loyalty, and respect go a long way with me. But when you show your hands and you show exactly who you are, you'd be done with me. That's it, one and done anymore. I'm old now. I don't got time for that shit. I don't. All right, how is everybody guys doing? How are you doing? Mark Kemper, what's up, you guys? Let's go, Brandon. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. It's too big to rig. I was sure about that one, because the 2020 election, you know, on national television, mind you, on the evening news, mind you, the votes switched. Like, Trump lost votes. Like, the other opponent can get more votes, but to take votes away from your political opponent, yeah, that don't look good. And it was caught on national television. We have all of this proof, but yet, you're an election denier. It's bad when you deny the election and you're a Trump supporter. But if you're a Hillary Clinton supporter, Barack Obama supporter, hell, even Potato Joe, you're good. You're all good, man. You're gravy, man. All right. No problem. If you're Stacey Abrams or Stacey Adams, whatever the fuck her name is, you can say it all day. No charges. I don't know, you guys. I hope and pray that the proof that Nikki Haley winning in D.C., I hope that Trump's lawyers use that to show clear bias in his D.C. trial. I really do. I can't think of another person that has been absolutely terrorized, and it keeps going. It's amazing to see. It's amazing to witness. I pray I can meet Donald Trump one day. I really do. I want to shake his hand and say thank you for having the most secure border in 50 years. Thank you for having the American dream attainable. Let's get this country back. We need to. We have no other choice. If we continue down the road we're down, we're screwed. We have illegal immigrants in New York City attacking people with weaponry now. This is it. We have trans people shooting up churches now. Yeah, I mean, it's bad. We have a beautiful young woman that's going to school to change her life, to help people. Literally, the most amazing job, nurses, right? They do more than doctors. I'm sorry. You can say I'm biased because, one of my best friends is an ER nurse. And I went to school for nursing before I screwed everything up, but everything's back on track, so we never know what's going to happen. But I'm biased with nurses because they are the most caring, and they do the most. And doctors just chart and write things, and some doctors even pawn their charting off on the charge nurses. It's crazy. But Laken Riley, this bright young girl, man, my heart breaks. It's the first time I'm really going to speak out about her, but it's not going to be my last, because let me tell you something. When a child decides I'm going to go to college and I'm going to save people's lives or do everything that I can to save lives, that shows what a great person they are. And for some violent, illegal alien to kill her in the way that he did, and everybody can say, I haven't really heard anybody dispute the fact that Joe Biden undoing all of Title 42 and Remain in Mexico, I really haven't seen any leftists really disputing the fact that Joe Biden undoing all of these amazing policies that kept our border safe and our citizens safe. I don't really see people disputing that. Good, because you shouldn't. That man, he was in New York. He committed a violent crime in New York. He was sent packing. They let him right back in. They let him right back in at the border. And Secretary Mayorkas, your blood, or her blood, is on your hands, and so is on Joe Biden's. And whoever is pulling Joe Biden's strings. My guess is Barack Obama, of course, Laken Riley, I couldn't imagine. That's every parent's worst fear. But for her to be taken in such a savage way, that man stalked her. They didn't even want to, I haven't even listened to the 911 calls yet, because I don't know if they're available yet. But I'm telling you what, they dropped the ball. There's not, I don't care how much the left cries racism, bigotry, xenophobia. I don't give a shit. It's not about race, and it's not about not wanting people to have a better life. That's not it. When we say we can't vet people because it's too time consuming, just let everybody in, instances happen like Laken Riley's murder. Because we're not vetting these people. We're just letting any Tom, Dick, and Harry in. And what really sucks here is Venezuela emptied their prisons. They took all of the most violent offenders that they had, and they sent them to our border. And America, Joe Biden, Secretary Mayorkas, just rolled out the red carpet for these people who came from Venezuelan prisons. The most violent of the violent, and we're surprised that they are committing violent crimes here? I think not. And then Venezuela says, well, guess what? If you deport them, they're not coming back here. We don't want them because our crime rates have decreased significantly. No shit, Sherlock, because it's all happening here now. Thanks, Joe Biden. You guys, I don't care if you are for the Second Amendment or not. You better be safe than sorry. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's better to be safe than sorry. You don't want to go, well, shit, coulda, woulda, shoulda. You don't want to be put in that type of situation. And unfortunately, we can't say that it's only in Texas or Arizona. It's everywhere. And I don't know why New York, I don't know why any resident you're bitching about it. You wanted this. You wanted sanctuary cities. You said, oh, well, it's racist. Governor Abbott is such a racist. He don't want rapists and murderers and violent people to come into America for a better life. These are all military-aged men from all over the world. Way to go. You know, I can't stand it. I just can't anymore. I hope and pray that this country goes back to being safe again. Our safety. It's not just for the present, it's for future generations. We have to, as parents especially, we have a duty to protect the mind, the body, and the soul of our children. We have to make sure that they grow up to be civilized human beings, productive members of society. And we can't do that if we have a bunch of assholes pushing them a bunch of fucking pornography in schools and all kinds of hedonistic bullshit. Let me find out. So Tuesday, you guys, I started my stream off by putting it out there. I'm going to be bringing probably live. I don't know yet. I'll determine if I'm going to go live or not, or just upload the video after, because they're introducing, they're voting on a book for second graders in my city that talks about protesting and being loud and proud, and all over the pages is the rainbow pride flag and transgender flags. And the time to speak is now. Be loud and proud. And I'm over here like, these are second graders. What the fuck do they know about sexuality? What the fuck do they know about protesting? They don't know what they want for lunch. They don't know if they want Cheez-Its or Doritos. And you're just sitting, what are you doing? So I'm going to a school board meeting, and I'm going to tell you something. This school district already knows how I feel. And it's like, we trust our children in your institution here, right? We trust you with our children. And you think you're going to do this to them? Fuck no. Not on my watch. Not now. Not ever. And I don't give a shit. If you want your children to read pornography, then you go give it to them, and you got to live with that. You got to sleep at night. You got to look at yourself in the mirror, knowing that you literally exposed your child to something so grotesque. As a child's mind is so innocent, they don't need to see all that shit. They need to stay kids. They need to not grow up that fast. Best believe me, as a victim of childhood sexual abuse, I should never have been exposed to sex at that age, because it fucked me up mentally. It fucked me up. It not only gave me a raging drug addiction, but it fucked my head up. Like, people don't understand that this is traumatic. It's traumatic. And then they're worried about a bunch of kids. Like, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to act on these impulses because you force-fed it to them. Yay! We got a bunch of new rapers running around. Cool. It doesn't... Oh, my God. Anyways, so this is it. Stop crying. Who's crying? Nuts, I can't tell. Well, I mean, whatever. It is what it is. Arrest anyone who talks or hands a child a pedophile book. Absolutely. Absolutely. But here we go. The problem is that CPS has always been there to destroy the nuclear family, and they've always had that ability to take kids away from parents and do unspeakable things to them. It's really a catch-22 regarding getting CPS involved, or Department of Family Services, because they literally destroy families. And this is what sucks, right, is that they would rather take your child away for you not affirming their made-up gender, right, or these made-up pronouns. They would rather take your child away from you and put them in a state-run facility for simply that. But they drop the ball on the cases where the parents are starving their children, beating their children, or sexually abusing their children, or pimping them out, right? or giving them drugs. They dropped the ball on those things, or those 100,000 migrant children that are just gone. Poof. No one says nothing about them. It's fucked up. And the government facilitated it all. That's what's so messed up here. That we have people today in our government that facilitated human trafficking and selling kids into sex rings. So tomorrow I have a very special guest coming on with me. His name is James Lindsay. You might know who he is, you might not. New Disclosures is a great YouTube channel. He goes all over the world. Very patriotic, extremely anti-woke. Now, wokeness, right? At first it didn't sound so bad. You want to be a social justice warrior, you know? But like, here's me going, wait a minute, you want me to control people? That ain't me? Wait a minute, how's that going to work? How is that going to work? Oh, you just have to be aware of your surroundings. But then it turned into violent protests and then violent mobs and lootings and riotings and murders and all this, that, and the other. No. So Mr. James Lindsay will be on with me tomorrow at 11 a.m. It's going to be great. And I just got confirmation that Zach and I from Wolves in Finance will be working again together here in a couple of weeks. But we're going to be on Wolves in Finance this time. So he's going to welcome me into his home this time. So I can't wait for that. So that's coming up in a few weeks. I dropped it already on my Patreon. You guys, I know I've dropped the ball on my Patreon. It's just I've had winter blues and I've been really busy. So it's really hard for me to sit down for a second and click and type and do all this and do all that. But I'm catching back up. So and now that the weather's breaking, I'm finally getting out there and getting some much needed vitamin D. Because the vitamin D you see on me is fake. See? All right, Israel or Hamas? Oh my God, come on now. I will never, ever back Hamas. No, they raped women, they killed children, they raped kids, they kidnapped kids. What they did was barbaric. I don't give a shit what your views are on that. I don't care. I will never excuse a terroristic organization. Nope, not gonna happen. Are you a whitewashed? Excuse. Oh my God. Just when you think you've heard it all, check this out. Black and white, you better get to start making kids. You better start reproducing real quick because the great replacement is upon us. Why else would they let in, 12 million non-English speaking people, all military-aged men? Where's the women and children at? Oh, okay. Very slim, few and far between. They don't really make it to America. Oh, no. They're grabbed up by the cartels immediately before entering the United States. The kids, too. So way to go. All right, guys. I hope that deport them all. Deport, baby, deport. Yes. That's what I think. Deport them all. And then if you want to come here, you got to do it the legal way. Because granting parole for 85% of the people that cross through our borders, do the math. Do the math. 12 million. 12 million. Thank you for your donation, Rod. I appreciate you. Thank you. 12 million people. 85% of those 12 million people were granted parole to come here. Because I'm in fear for my life. Oh, I need asylum. Psst. The magic word here is asylum. Feel like I'm on Pee Wee Herman. The word of the day. Asylum. You need to go. Get the fuck out. Okay? But how many of you out there think that one of them will willingly leave after they've been given free handouts, thousands upon thousands of dollars every month? How many of you out there think that they're going to leave freely? I don't. I don't believe that. I think that we need to take 87,000 IRS agents that were granted privilege for deadly force and use them for ICE. We need to use them. We need to use them to hunt down and use deadly force if necessary. Get the fuck out of our country. Or, here's the latter. It's a called a bullet. You can take a choice. You're given free housing, free money, free cars, free phones. What else? You think they're going to leave freely? No, they're definitely not. No, they're definitely not going to leave freely. And this is why I fear. I fear of the day. I know January 2025 is probably going to be real bloody. It's going to kick off some. And I guarantee you they're going to kick it off on January 6th. Watch. It's not like they're so practical, like, and they're so predictable that, like, we can sense what they're going to do. It's going to be pretty bloody, I think. That's just my speculation. I don't have any proof of that, but I just feel like, and Joe Biden 100% has executive power to sign executive orders to seal the border and deport people right now. I don't care if the women and the children stay. I really don't. But the military-aged men, get the fuck out of here and come through the legal way so that you can prove that you're not a violent person. You can prove that you could survive here and that you don't need handouts. You're going to be an asset, not a liability. Is that too much to ask? Come here the legal way so that you can't be taken advantage of. That you're working for $6 an hour. It's really crazy that Venezuela is thriving. Their economy is better than ours. And they're a real small country compared to us. That's because all of their violent thieves are in San Francisco and New York City creating havoc, stealing whatever isn't nailed down, and then sending all of the money from their stolen goods back to Venezuela. How many more Laken Rileys have to die before something gets done about it? I have a funny feeling Joe Biden ain't going to do shit about it because he claims I can't do nothing about it. There's nothing, my hands are tied. Pfft. So you mean to tell me you're not running our country, then somebody else is? Is that what you're saying? Because as President of the United States of America, you're the most powerful man in the world. You absolutely have the power to sign an executive order. You just don't want to. Or the people that are controlling you aren't allowing that to happen. Because they might need a new savior to come in. Maybe Michelle Obama will come in and, I'll save you, America. I love you so much. Pfft, yeah, right. The Marxist himself, whatever it is. How many more Laken Rileys have to die? Here's what I'm going to say. I've said this for probably about 2 years now. Arm yourselves and make sure that nothing can happen. Make sure you're not standing there going, you don't make it to that day that you go, man, I wish I would have done something about this. Thank you. Thank you for your donation. Who sent it? Hold on. I was trying to look and see. But thank you. I think it was Roland. I appreciate you. From Rod again. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, the destruction of our country is just, it's profound. And it's like, holy shit, it's happening at a even more rapid rate now that he's coming to an end to his reign of terror. Within a few hours of Joe Biden, before the sun set, the day he was inaugurated, literally, he signed executive order to extinguish the Remain in Mexico in Title 42. He literally opened America up. Like, come on in. What really peeves me is all of the Americans who need help. The elderly people that have lived here all of their lives and worked here for 50, 60 years and are surviving on a fixed income that are barely surviving. Our veterans that need help the most. Americans that need help the most. They're put dead last. And people that are here illegally, committed crimes, You committed a crime, a federal crime, when you crossed our borders illegally, no matter if Biden invited you here or not. That was a crime. And some people can't grasp that simple concept, that simply crossing our border is a crime in itself. All of our Americans are suffering because of this. And what communities are all of these migrants in these sanctuary cities decimating right now? Of course, the Black communities. And Black America is sick and tired of it. Thank God. Thank God. And I'm sorry that this had to happen to a lot of Black communities, but this is exactly what it took to wake them up, to see that the Democrats have not and will never have their best interest at hand. They're not going to the burbs. I don't see them in my neighborhood. Well, I see them in my old neighborhood where I grew up. The Black communities are suffering the most. And I'm glad. But Black America, if you want these people out and if you want America First candidates back in there, there's only one person to vote for. One, the person that they are hell-bent on trying to remove from ballots, the person that they're hell-bent on literally just smearing through the court system, weaponizing our entire court system, where we have lefties cheering this on, but they fail to realize that it takes only one case to set precedent for them to do it to every single one of us, regardless of who you vote for. Like, people are that stupid. You're that fucking stupid. You know, let's just say, here, let me break it down for you. I know you guys understand, but these leftoids don't. Let's just say, I decide to walk down the street, okay, and I see a garage open. I see something valuable in that garage, and I don't have that, but I want it, right? Just say this. I walk in there and I take this person's belongings that don't belong to me, right? Not only did I trespass, but breaking and entering and receiving stolen property and grand larceny, yada, yada, yada. Well, down in Alabama, let's just say, not even in the same state as me, down in Alabama, there was a guy who walked into a garage, right? And let's just say he paid off a prosecutor, paid off a judge, and the judge said, well, based off of this loophole, that loophole, and this one I'm about to make up, who cares about the Constitution or nothing, I'm going to say that the state can't prove their case. Even if dude's fingerprints and maybe he broke a window and even if his blood was trailing throughout the whole garage. All those forensic don't mean a fucking thing, right? So let's just say I do that to my neighbor and I get a lawyer that does a little bit of research. Oh, state of Alabama versus Joe Schmo. Your Honor, state of Alabama versus Joe Schmo says you got to throw it out. That's all it takes. That's as simple as precedent is. It's as simple as it is. One judge does the wrong thing, one jury does the wrong thing and gets it wrong. Guess what? We're screwed. Yeah, Kathy Hochul literally, or Hochul, hack job. I don't know what her last name is. I don't give a shit because she's evil to the core. Even she told investors, real estate investors, don't worry, you're not Trump. Because they're all leaving. They're like, we're not doing business in New York. If you could literally file charges against us, fraud charges, for applying for a loan, repaying the loan with interest, there's absolutely zero victims here when, in fact, there has to be a victim to a crime. Like, if I go rob my neighbor's house, who's the victim? My neighbor, not me. As much as the left would claim, she's the victim. Common sense. She literally says, don't worry about it. You're not Trump. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're not going to do that to you. We're not going to come after you. Wait a minute. Does anybody not find it fucked up that Judge Engoron, right? Engoron or whatever the hell his, that's what his name is. Judge, Letitia James and Judge Engoron, I don't even know what his name is. I don't care. I don't give a shit. So you mean to tell me you sued Donald Trump over what you claim to be fraud for inflating the value of his house when he doesn't even do that? Inspectors do, and all this, that, and the other. Not only does his property, he wrote down that his property was less than what it's actually worth. But anyways, you're suing Trump for supposed fraud on a loan. And then in order to appeal the decision that you made and made up laws for and went against our Constitution for, precisely, you made up shit. You literally made up laws in order to sue Trump. You mean to tell me you okayed him getting another loan to pay your bond for him to file an appeal? Please, somebody, please explain to me how that's even a thing. Oh my God. Black America, wake up. Vote Trump. White America, wake up. Vote Trump. If you don't, we're screwed. And look at the Jack Smith is all kinds of crazy mad right now. I have a picture of his wife, I think. I don't know if I can share it with you guys here. Maybe I can green screen it or not. Let me see if I can do it. Highlight saved your channel. Oh, I don't know. There's all these new buttons. Anyways, I posted it on my X account. Make sure you're following me over on X. It's simple @ReactsGen. It's in my LinkTree on my channel. All of the stuff is listed on my About page, man. I found a picture of Jack Smith's wife. And when you see the picture of Jack Smith's wife, you're going to know exactly why he goes after Trump as hard as he does. Because Trump's got Melania and Jack has that. She looks just like a leftist. If left if we needed a poster child for liberals, it would be Jack Smith's wife, homely. That's the one word I could describe all liberals. Homely, because that hatred and that vileness comes out of their pores and it affects their looks. Call me crazy, but conservatives are just better looking people, better people in general. Not even just about appearances, but they're happier, they're more morally sound, and they're just all around good people, good pillars of their community, right? They're not these violent, savage extremists like the left claims that we are. And it's so crazy because I never wanted to be a conservative. I was always liberal, but back then liberal, it meant a lot different than it did today. All we want is smaller government. We don't want a government in our business. And we certainly don't want to end up like Canada. But we're headed that way. So they just approved, digital wallets for Canadians. Yeah, the digital wallets. I don't care about looks, man. I don't. I just said that. Yeah, you're not screwed who you vote for. That's not true. So, please don't call me Kim Kardashian. That is not a... tattoo is actually... It doesn't matter if you're tattooed or not. Okay? It's my body. It's what I want to do with my body. I find that remarkably odd. Okay? I do. Because, look, first of all... my body, my choice. But let me slam you for your tattoos. Let me slam you for your tattoos. I don't want to vaccine me, but let me slam you for your tattoos. It's not you. You don't have to wear them. So what the hell do you care? I don't care if you have asshole tattooed on your forehead. I don't care if you had a tattoo of an asshole on your forehead between your eyeballs. I wouldn't care. That's yours. That's your, that's your deal to deal with. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says anymore. Listen here, man. I don't give a shit. I don't. I'm officially to the age of I ain't got time for that. Okay? All right. All right, guys. All right, listen, check this out. I want you guys to have a blessed day. Make sure you're out there voting if your state allows it. Make sure you're researching what day your primary is. For most states, for some states today it's Super Tuesday, but for the primary election, it is March 19th. I know that's for Ohio. Make sure you're researching the candidates. Like, it doesn't take long to do a deep dive in how they vote, just peep it. Look into their history of how they're voting. If they're claiming they're Republican, if they're voting with Democrats all of the time, that should show you that they're not a Republican. Okay? Do your research on especially your school board. Do your research on your court system to keep your community safe. We want judges in there who have a high conviction rate for violent crimes. We don't want Soros-funded ones in there. We want America First candidates in there that will say they will do everything to make sure that the corrupt district attorneys, the corrupt attorney generals, the corrupt judges, the ones that have completely gone rogue, they get them out. We want to make sure we're voting for people who will prosecute doctors or educators who are indoctrinating or mutilating our children. I don't care what you want to do to your body after you're 18, but stop targeting children, for crying out loud. It's enough already. All right, guys, remember 11 a.m. tomorrow. James Lindsay, the most anti-woke man in America, or probably the world, because he was at the Oxford Union and everything, man. I'm so jealous. You should see how dapper he looked, too. My God. Great looking guy, man. Just his head is on his shoulders. I don't care what he looks like. Well, he don't care what I look like either, because he ain't swinging on my team, so... I don't care. Listen, what other two adults do either, man, I really don't care. I don't care if we have two consenting adults and they choose to. You know where I'm getting with this. If they're gay, I don't give a shit, man. I don't care. It's not on me to judge. It's not on me to judge. If you are anti-woke, I don't care who you sleep with. As long as it's not dogs and kids or horses or something stupid like that and crazy and just absolutely horrific, I don't care. Just leave my kids alone. Leave the kids alone. Leave the babies alone. All right, guys, make sure you're doing your research. Make sure you're voting on primary. Make sure if you see something fishy at your elections, you record that shit. I'm going in there with a body camera on. I don't give a fuck. All right, guys. I love you dearly, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. If you can join me, I really appreciate it. Make sure you check out my LinkTree. It's got all of my socials in there. And if you can donate to the channel, please do. You don't have to, but my donation links are all in the LinkTree as well. All right, y'all. I love you all, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye now. Wait, hold on a second. I want to bliss it out. Let me see. Just watched your addiction stories for the first time. I'm newly recovering addict, and it helped a lot. How do you feel about the Suboxone? It has helped me get 7 months off of fentanyl. Okay, bye, Omer. I say this is what I say for Suboxone. If it works for you, do it. But here's the thing I must warn you about. It's a synthetic opiate. Now, a lot of people in AA and NA say no, but here's how I feel about it. If it's keeping you off fentanyl, do it. But please make sure you set a goal like, all right, I'm going to do Suboxone for the next 9 months. Or if you want to stay sober, do it for a year. But then make sure you set that goal to get off of that, because guess what's going to happen if you cold turkey your Suboxone? It's going to be like the devil is coming out of you. It's going to be like withdrawal all over again. And I have seen a lot of people go off of their methadone or their Suboxone, and then they go through withdrawal, and the first place they go is back to their lifestyle of using drugs. And that's just a dangerous, deadly game you shouldn't play with, you know? So I feel like set a goal, a realistic one at that, and work with your physician, because medically assisted treatment, also known as MAT, it saves lives. And I don't care what anybody says. If we have these gung-ho AAers that have been in there for 50 years in the rooms and they're like, that's not sobriety. You know what? To them it is. So they're not shooting dope anymore. So guess what? Give them a fucking break. So make sure you do it with your doctor, though. You let them know, hey, because it's supposed to be a tapered program anyways. You shouldn't be on it longer than a year or two max. Because by then, well, it's actually around the 2-year mark is when your brain starts to rewire itself, meaning your opiate receptors are repairing themselves. And you don't need anything anymore. Your brain is back to normal. Your chemical imbalance as far as drug use, it's not there anymore. It's the brain is such a complex, like, fascinating organ because it can fix itself in those instances, you know, TBIs and stuff like that. No, but when we were talking about addiction, you know, it's amazing, and you won't see that clarity for 2 years, and then it just keeps getting better and better and better from there, man. I think it's the best decision I ever made was to get clean, because I don't want to walk around like the people of Philly right now. And people have got to see, like, unless you're one of those people, those zombies walking around, and I hate to call them that because they're actual human beings, but fucking shit, man. The progressive leftists that put those policies that, oh, look, we should just give people drugs and free needles and free crack pipes and let them run. Look at what happened. It's making problems worse. All we had to do was say, look at Vancouver, and we would never have decriminalized drugs here, because it does not decrease crime. It does not decrease drug use and addiction. It makes them rise. It makes those numbers rise. I remember when I was using, you would see maybe 5-6 people walking down Kensington, you know, nodding out and shit. Now it's in the thousands. The thousands. And that was only, what, 9-10 years ago. Man. I'm sad I made it, but, like, I'm happy I made it out of that shit. But I'm sad because I did and they don't. You know what I mean? It's almost like I have survivor's guilt. So I hope that answered your question. I'm sorry I took so long to answer it. Lost my child to fentanyl, so I'm on a mission. Oh, man. I'm sorry. 300 Americans every day lose their life to fentanyl. 300. It's the one thing that doesn't discriminate, doesn't care what background you come from, doesn't care if you're black or white, doesn't care about your race, doesn't care about your sexuality, doesn't care about your gender. So many parents had to bury their kids, and that's just, it's wrong. If I can help anybody, I will, man. I will. If I can show, if you have an addict in your family, show them my videos. I was one of the worst junkies ever. The worst. And I just celebrated 9 years clean on November 1st. 9 years. If I can do it, anybody can. You just got to have that mindset and be like, never again. Fuck this shit, I'm done. 5 magic words I'll never forget. Make sure I want to see your comments so I don't leave a comment. I don't smoke, drink, or do drugs, but I know heaps that do, sadly. Sometimes, yeah, you know. Sometimes. Oh, Grace Hinton. Did you see? I have no clue what I'm talking about. Oh, really? I don't. Okay. All right. Okay, well, that's for you to that's for you to think, but I think I know pretty much what I'm talking about. I've dealt with it. I dealt with drug use for many years, and I've been clean for many years, so I think I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't care if you disagree with me or not. What you can do is go pound your salt. Okay. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Jesus or drugs. Jesus is absolutely, Jesus won't kill you. 9-0. 9-0. Did you see that? Unanimously. Yeah, the Supreme Court. That's amazing. All right, you guys, look, if you can kindly share this video, especially give them the timestamp of people that were in or are in addiction right now, man. The light of the tunnel is there. They just got to seek it out and want it more than they want that drug use. But I get it, man. I know what it feels like to be dope sick. And let me tell you something. That's like the flu times a million. And your brain is simply saying, just use and you'll be okay. You'll be good. You'll be well. My God, man. The worst cycle. The addiction is the most vicious cycle that I was ever in. It was like I was in a dryer, like round and round and round and round and round. And I never could get off that ride. Sucked, man. It really did. All right, everybody. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to get off of here. What time is it? Holy cannolis. It's already 1 o'clock. All right. I love you guys. Make sure you go out and vote today. And I hope I see you tomorrow with my podcast with James. All right, guys. Love you all. Here's some ASMR for you. Why do they do that? They're like, stupid. Let me unbox this. It's so goofy. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, somebody's stealing the secret squirrel shit. Tiffany Henyard, man. Tiffany Henyard, the super mayor of Dalton. She literally put out a post for her board members. Secret squirrel shit. Anybody who has grown up in the hood or was about that life at one point or another knows what secret squirrel means. It's fucked up, man. It's crazy. I've been watching Hannibal doing the Hannibal is Hungry on his Tiffany Henyard and Nate the Lawyer, man. Two great channels, Hannibal is Hungry and Nate the Lawyer, if you want to get up to date on the Tiffany Dalton super corrupt mayor. Holy shit, man. It's like a shit show. It's amazing. All right, guys. Have a great day, man. I thank you. I got it from Officer Tatum. Oh, Tatum store. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Bye. Tiffany Henyard. She's the super mayor of Dalton, Indiana, or Illinois. She's one of the most corrupt people ever. Just look her up. Tiffany Henyard. Henyard. Holy shit. It'll blow your mind. She literally bought a Tahoe. We call her Tahoe Tiffany Biden. She literally bought a brand new Chevy Tahoe for $90,000, right? And the interest rate is the interest, not the rate, but the interest on the truck is $55,000, making that Chevy Tahoe $149,000. This is the car that drives her all around and shit on the taxpayers' dimes. Meanwhile, that city is $7 million in the hole. Oh my God. She spends $65,000 on Christmas ornaments. $50,000 on a Christmas tree. Cleveland, Ohio. We're a massive city and we don't even spend that much money on a Christmas tree or decorations. It's insane. She's bleeding this country or this community, this village of Dalton dry. She's bleeding it dry, and if you don't donate to her campaign, she won't renew your business licenses and shit. She shut down a bunch of bars and all kinds of shit. It's crazy. Nate the Lawyer is going to have this guy, his name's Jason Strong, on his channel, and Jason is a member of the trustees of Dalton, and he goes up to, he's like Byron Donalds. He looks just like him and everything. He's all about that life, but you guys should watch Nate the Lawyer, man. He's amazing. All right, guys, I gotta run. Hi, Blue Eyes. Source. What source do you need? It's all online. If you've been living under a rock, you can watch Nate the Lawyer's videos, and you can watch Hannibal is Hungry. Those are two channels that have been, and even Black Conservative Perspective has been featuring Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dalton, Illinois. Everybody knows about it. Now the FBI is investigating her, but we already know who leads that. Good old Christopher Wray. All right, guys, I love you all. I'll see you later. I got to go. Bye now.